Radical expressions, and we go to example number 3, which is the example that we read at the beginning of the lesson. Refer to the application at the beginning of the lesson. How much farther is the captain able to see than the passengers on the pool deck? Okay, we found in this example that the distance will be equal to the distance the captain can see minus the distance that the passengers can see on the pool deck. Okay, so we have 3 times 120 will give you 360 over 2, so that's radical 360 over 2 minus radical 216 over 2. Okay, and then this becomes radical 180 minus radical 108. Simplify those two radicals. 180 is the same as radical 6 squared times 5 minus 6 squared times 3 using prime factorization of 180 and prime factorization of 108. Okay, so you end up with 6 radical 5 minus 6 radical 3. Okay, and find using a calculator 6 radical 5 minus 6 radical 3 is approximately 3.02. So the captain can see about 3 miles farther than the passengers at the pool deck, which is just fitting because he's the one navigating the ship. Okay, so next example, example number 4, we are asked to simplify radical or 2 radical 3 minus 5 radical 5 multiplied by the quantity radical 10 plus 4 radical 6. Okay, if you notice, this is a multiplication of 2 terms, so we will use the distributive property to solve this, or another way to solve this is using the FOIL method, first outer, inner, last. And using the FOIL method, okay, the first term is basically 2 radical 3 times radical 10. Okay, so these are your 2 terms, 2 radical 3 multiplied by radical 10. Outer terms would be 2 radical 3, okay, multiplied by 4 radical 6, right there. Okay, the inner terms, negative radical 5 times radical 10, right there. And finally, the last terms, negative radical 5 times 4 radical 6, right there. Okay, so using the FOIL method to solve this, and simplifying this, we have now 2 radical 30 plus 8 radical 18 minus radical 50 minus 4 radical 30. Okay, we multiply all of them together, simplify further. You have 2 radical 30 plus 24 radical 2 minus 5 radical 2 minus 4 radical 30. And if you notice, okay, we have like terms. These two are your like terms. Okay, adding those like terms, we end up with 2 radical 30 and 19 radical 2, because this one and that term are also alike. So you have negative 2 radical 30 plus 19 radical 2. Okay, and that is the answer for example number 4. Okay, so what you need to do after listening to this lesson, in your notebook and in no more than a page, write or type a summary of what you've learned by responding to the objective of the lesson. Write a question you might want to ask in class about this lesson. Okay, thank you.